Celebrating 10 years of the SMILER, Festival of Thrills returns for 2023. Join me from Alton Towers Resort as I explore what this event has to offer, all the different entertainment, and unlike previous years, it won't be like each different area has its own stage. Because it's his birthday, the SMILER will be taking over the whole of the Alton Towers Resort, starting off with Tower Street. So let's go and see what the SMILER has done to it. Just here by the entrance then, you pull out one of those drawers and you receive one of these cards, and what this is there's like a stamp for each of the different roller coasters here at Alton Towers, and once you've ridden them you'll receive a stamp, or there'll be a stamp at the front entrance for each of the major coasters down here. 6 different coasters to try and get the stamps for, and once you've got all the stamps you then have to go on social media, take a picture of yourself smiling and tag #Festival of Thrills to maybe win their competition. You never know, but get yourselves down here and start stamping. Just before we head to X Sector though, I've just noticed something with these boards. While they do look great and adds to the front entrance here for the SMILER Takeover, they've literally drilled them straight into these metal bars just here. So I'm a bit worried when they take these off after the event. Are there going to be like little holes here? Bit worried about how they've set these up, to be honest. It's sort of ruining the infrastructure here at the resort, but I'm sure they'll sort it out. But just seems a bit silly really, drilling them straight into this metal fencing just here. But hopefully they can sort that out and it doesn't ruin the aesthetic here on the main plaza itself. Looks like it's a pretty busy day down here at Towers, so we'll head over to X Sector and check out all the entertainment down here for Festival of Thrills. Down here on Tower Street for the SMILER Takeover of Festival of Thrills, they're also playing like a remix soundtrack with the SMILER laughing over the top as well. And also here, you've got all the bunting there on the truss. These truss have done Alton Towers so well. They must be about 10 years old now, those truss. But yeah, you can see there, you've got all the flags on there. The Festival of Thrills, the SMILER Takeover. Unfortunately, there'll be no entertainment on that main stage. And I've said this for so many events at Alton Towers. They need to get that stage open and actually use it. But I really like all the bunting here, all the flags with the SMILER logos. Festival of Thrills, SMILER Takeover. And just here as well, as we approach it, you can see here today's show schedule. Not to be confused, because this looks like that those will be showing on that stage, but it's not. Most of these are all over in X Sector. But you can see there, pause the video now if you want to get a closer look at today's show times. But I like how they've remixed the SMILER soundtrack into Tower Street, because it reinforces the fact that this is a SMILER takeover here at the resort. I mean, can you believe it? SMILER's 10 years old, a decade old. It opened back in 2013 here at the resort. And yeah, it has been literally a roller coaster for Alton Towers to have that coaster here at the park. There's been ups and downs with SMILER, but nonetheless, it's nice to see that they're celebrating it. They could have just glossed over the fact that it's 10 years old, like they did when 13 was 13 years old. No celebrations for that, but at least SMILER's getting the love and care that it deserves. It may not be the best ride and may not be riding the best this season, but it is quite an iconic coaster. It's world famous, of course, for its 14 inversions here at the resort. That's where I'm going to head next. Here we go then, just outside X Sector. They've got these trusses out with the SMILER Takeover logo and this Poundland tape here. At least they made the effort. But yeah, can you believe it? The SMILER turning 10 years old. A decade of the SMILER here at Alton Towers Resort. Opened back in 2013. And yeah, it's been here for 10 years. I mean, it doesn't feel that long, but it also feels like the SMILER's been at Alton Towers forever. I mean, it's such an iconic coaster. And probably when you ask someone what roller coasters at Alton Towers, they would probably say the SMILER. Nice smile, smile always. But yeah, they'll probably say the SMILER, and that's just how it is, because Alton Towers is sort of known for this attraction. It's the world's most inverting coaster, 14 loops in a roller coaster, and that record still hasn't been beaten to this day. Just outside X Sector then, you've got all this lovely theming, the Ministry of Joy checkpoint. Yeah, I love this. I mean, this shouldn't be just here for an event. This should be here forever. And you've also got this spinny thing here that this girl's just playing on there. Oh, that's very dizzying just there. Yeah, these sort of things should be here permanently really, as theming, and the SMILER is looking really tired actually. So it's quite sad that it's celebrating its birthday this year. Oh, that's quite trippy. But yeah, it's not looking in the best of state in terms of the actual queue line. It needs like a good jet wash. But these sort of things should just be permanent installations. Hopefully, after the event, they'll just keep a lot of this stuff and not put it away, because it'd be a shame to see actually. And just here outside the main entrance itself, you've got another one of those stamp points where you can stamp your card and potentially win a prize. So yeah, you just do it yourself just there. So you don't actually have to go on the ride, on the roller coaster rather. You can just sort of stamp it and not go on it, if you don't want to ride the SMILER. It's only on a 50-minute wait though, which is not too bad. But just going to head down here to the fun fair, of course, where there's 2 different stages to check out. Hello.
The ministry today.
Yes, what time is the ministry on?
Now the ministry is all the time, but we have our fear testings at these times today.
Oh, right down here.
Every hour the fear test today.
Oh, okay.
So you can be a member of our
I
fear
hope you can
testing
read.
group.
Yeah, I can read. I will always smile. Alright, so see you later. See you later. Goodbye. We will. See you later. And here you've got all the Ministry of Joy and the main stage just there as well. Here's the queue times. He's still standing there. What's he doing? Smile always. Smile always. Here's the... What is he doing? Oh, nice theatre down here. But yeah, here's the entertainment show times. You've got 3 different shows to check out. And yeah, they're on, what's this one? On every hour, this one just here. And yeah, you got all the different show times. I'm excited to see this one. The stage looks very, very odd. I mean, it's nice to see that they've reused some of the chairs that was on the Galactica stage last year for Festival of Thrills. Yeah, very odd stage. Those look like some of the props that they used during Halloween actually here at the resort. Nice to see. It's very random actually, to be honest. Very random stage. Very SMILER-ish. Look, there's a slug down there. Don't know what that has to do with the SMILER. But there's another stage just there as well, which we'll check out. But it's great to see street theatre down here in X Sector with the SMILER just there in the background. It's a very impressive coaster to look at, it really is. But yeah, here's the stage. Just unfortunately it blocks the nice view of Oblivion a little bit. You can still get it from this corner, this angle just here, but it just blocked the view of Oblivion. And I assume when the show's on, they'll move all of these so you get a better view. Or they might not actually for safety, but I'm not too sure. We'll head over here to the fun fair and check out this stage there. Just outside Oblivion, you've got another one of those stamp and win points just there. 50-minute queue for Oblivion. Quite busy down here in X Sector. And of course just here, you've got the stage and also the 2 funfair rides. Twistertron's experiencing a technical delay just there. But yeah, let's have a little closer look at this stage. So far, there's 3 different stages in X Sector, 2 big stages and 1 small little platform. There's another look at those entertainment show times as well. But I tell you what, I really like this stage. It looks very modern. You've got the nice LCD screen just there and all the lights flashing around it as well. The SMILER logos on the side. Really like it. Excited to see what sort of entertainment we're going to get on these stages, because we've got 2 stages that are really close to each other. So it'll be good to see what sort of different stuff they do. But I tell you what, X Sector is just really overwhelming in terms of music, because what you've got is you've got the music from this stage blasting out, you've got this music from SMILER, the soundtrack for SMILER, which is really at full volume, and I can also hear Oblivion just there in the background. Luckily they have turned off the Retro Squad music, so that makes it a little bit better. But in this area it is really overwhelming, it's really loud, and to be fair, on this bank holiday it's really busy. However, we'll wait around for this show I think first, and then we'll make our way back to the front where they've got like a magician there I think. But so far I'm enjoying the theming of Festival of Thrills and the enhancements that they made to the SMILER, but it is just so loud in this area. But let's not judge crew quickly, let's wait around for this show. When's the next one for this one? When is it? 11? Well, I think I'll have to wait for the 12:15 one now. Yeah, we'll wait around and I'll capture a few highlights here at Festival of Thrills, the SMILER Takeover. The first show to check out down here at Festival of Thrills, the SMILER Takeover, is the Celebration of Happiness down here at the bottom of X Sector next to 2 different Retro Squad rides. So with all that said, let's go and take some happiness and let's go and celebrate the SMILER.
Alright, this is a bit slow, isn't it? Bring me sunshine in your smile. Oh, that's too slow. Can we speed it up? Okay, come on. Here we go. Make me happy. For a while, it's a bit closer, never bring me none of those tears. Bring me sunshine, come on my friend. Bring me love, oh yeah, thank you very much. Hey. And the crowd went wild. Thank you, thank you. Beautiful.
All advocates to maintain a sensible level of fun when singing or listening
Let's
to
be
the
sensible
Ministry
like
of
this
Joy
now.
approved.
Take it easy. Young man, there's no need to feel down. Where you going, girls? Young man.
Look at this little boy here, proper going for it, joining the Ministry of Joy in his celebrations.
Stop me now, I'm having such a good time. I'm not having a ball. Go on, love, don't stop me. Now, if you want to have a good time, hey, just give me a call. Don't stop me, he's having a good time. Yes, look at him, having a good time. Enjoy your day, guys. I'll see you soon. I'll be back in 45 if you fancy all that again.
So I've just watched the celebration of happiness down here at the bottom of the X sector, and don't get me wrong, the performer who was singing and interacting with the audience was fantastic, but how that relates to 10 years of the SMILER is beyond me, honestly. However, the song choice was nice, they were very happy, and the theme of it, I'm not too sure, to be honest. I think it's like the Ministry of Joy is trying to make people not happy, and then people are rebelling against it and sort of singing, but I'm not really too sure on how it fits with the theme of the SMILER. It was a nice little sing-along, people enjoyed it, and what I liked most about that show, to be honest, is the LCD screen behind the performer, which was playing like different promotional material for the SMILER. Back in 2013 when they were promoting the ride, do you remember when they shown that big projection onto Big Ben of the SMILER logo and spray-painted sheep? Really good marketing for the SMILER. But yeah, they had some of those playing back on the background, which is quite cool. The stage is really nicely set, they've got some really nice lighting on it, but how it relates to 10 years of the SMILER is really beyond me. However, it was a good show, nice little sing-along, lasted about 15 minutes, so it was quite a long show. But next up we've got the Fear Test, which is just over by Oblivion, so we'll check out that show next. But that one, very strange, very odd, however a good song choice. Yeah, it was a bit odd, I don't really know how to explain it. One thing that I would say though, it's very overwhelming with the audio, as I said earlier. You've got the SMILER, and then that was even louder when he was actually singing. So it just was a bit overwhelming here in X Sector. But it's a good job that they turned the Retro Squad music off, because honestly, if that was on, it felt like my ears would probably burst, to be honest. Let's head over to the Fear Test and see if we can get any odder.
No, I am Scientist Gladwell, Chief Nautical Cortex Reprogramming Officer here at the Ministry of Joy, and I'm joined today by the delightful, yes, delightful assistant, it's Agent Joy Tide. Now, at the Ministry, we believe that through the pain, the distress, the worry, the fear of every smile always. Welcome, advocates, to the fear into the box, and try not to think about the terrible, terrible creature inside. Do be careful, Linda from Hull. The creature inside is extremely sensitive and dangerous. We better return this creature back into the wild. Oh! Advocates! The Ministry would like to apologise to all advocates of arachnophobia and offers you all a freedom from Hull.
So I would do a small dance and then take a bow.
Well, Linda from Hull, if you want to have a small dance, come into the centre of the stage and give us a small dance. It's so fascinating. Truly insightful stuff there. The advocate senses are heightened. Sweat is starting to appear on our forehead, ready for the mind-bending inversions of the whole show. Keep waving, Linda from Hull. Smile for your audience.
So I've just watched the Fear Test over by Oblivion, and if I thought the last show was odd, well that was even odder and weirder. So essentially they pick someone from the audience, they always call them Linda no matter what their names are, and they're from Hull. Yeah, they head over and they do 3 different tests, and the last test is to pop a balloon, and then they randomly bring out a chainsaw, which is odd. Nice to see they're getting used to the chainsaws after Scarefest. Honestly, there's a SMILER. Honestly, I have no idea what that show was. The stage looks like you've been down the aisle of Poundland or B&M and just chucked on loads of stuff from Scarefest. It's very odd, which the SMILER is very odd. However, that show was a different scale of odd. Like the spectrum of odd was like that, and then that show went beyond the spectrum of odd. However, it was, I don't really know how to explain it really, and how it relates to the SMILER is no idea. However, if you do get picked, you do get 3 fast tracks, 2 free fast tracks for the SMILER, which is quite good. The 2 shows that I've seen so far haven't been the greatest, I'm not going to lie to you. It's not like last year's Festival of Thrills. In my opinion, they shouldn't have called it Festival of Thrills. I feel like it should have just been called 10 Years of the SMILER or the SMILER Takeover, because it isn't Festival of Thrills. What we had last year was completely different. All of these stages were located around the resort in areas such as Dark Forest, and there were some really nice musicians. There was a violinist over by 13. But now, this year, it's loads of weird SMILER themed shows, which is very odd. I don't know how to really explain it, to be honest, which is fine. However, it shouldn't have been called Festival of Thrills, in my opinion. From the 2 shows I've seen so far, it shouldn't have been called Festival of Thrills. And after the last show, here in X Sector, I'll head around the park and see if they've only got any stages or any theming around the actual Alton Towers resort, because if they haven't, then it's not really Festival of Thrills, it's literally a SMILER takeover. With all that said, let's go and check out the last show, then I'll head out of X Sector and give out my full wrap up of the entertainment that it has to offer down here at the SMILER takeover. There we go, I've watched all the entertainment down here in X Sector and it's left me with one word, confused, and that's it, I'm just confused. I don't really know what I've just watched, to be honest. I've had a buttling show and then I've watched some weird odd show with someone testing someone on something, and then I've watched a man stab knives in a box. There we go, that's what I've watched here in X Sector. No, but all jokes aside, I really don't know what I've just watched. I understand that the Alton Towers management have wanted to celebrate the SMILER's birthday, and they've done that really well. The SMILER takeover here in X Sector has been done pretty well, but the shows, I'm just really confused, and hats off to all the entertainment team. They're really putting 100% in, and I know how hard it is to engage visitors that are probably just wanting to go on the coasters into the entertainment. They've done a fantastic job. Whatever Alton Towers entertainment team management were thinking there, were doing this, I don't really know, to be honest. I want to get into their mindset and think whatever on that second show was happening, I have no idea. The first show, okay, it's a buttling show, it's a bit of fun, I enjoyed that, to be honest. The third show that I watched with the guy stabbing the knives, the magician guy, he was really good, yeah. And then the second show, I was just weirded out by it. I don't really know. I was still filming and thinking, what am I watching here, you know? It was a bit freaky, a bit weird, something to the start of a horror movie. But it's quite true to the SMILER storyline. I'm speechless. I don't really know what to say. Overall, it's a nice bit of entertainment here in X Sector, but the music is so loud, it's a bit overwhelming in this area. That's why when I'm filming these face-on sort of videos, I like to come to a sort of quieter area where I can really concentrate on what I'm saying, because down there it's so loud, so deafening, it's sort of hard to keep on what I'm trying to say. But to be honest, I don't know what I'm really trying to say, because I'm a bit weirded out by all the shows. But there we go, you've seen it with your own eyes here on the camera from the footage. Make your own assumptions up. But in my opinion, I think it's just really odd down here in X Sector. With all that said, I'm not going to keep waffling for too long. I'm going to head around the rest of the park and see what the SMILER has done to all the different roller coasters here at the resort. Right, let's head out of X Sector. I've had enough now. Just outside Oblivion then, we've got the letter L, which stands for the loss of an atmosphere in X Sector since they put the funfair rides in. Heading out of X Sector then and towards Wicker Man, and you can see some more SMILER theming, but I've got to say it, what the hell is this? That looks like they've pulled this out of a skip or something and then dumped it outside of Wicker Man. There's no stages or anything like that. It just looks like a bunch of stuff that's been sort of pulled out of the old Alton Towers archives and then just sort of stuck together here and put outside Wicker Man. I've got to say, these things do look good, and they would look good in X Sector permanently, as permanent theming for the SMILER, but I just don't think it works outside of the the Wicker Man here at Alton Towers. I mean, if there was some sort of show on here, then it'd be a bit different. However, there's nothing, it's just dumped here. And that's it. This is the SMILER takeover for Wicker Man. There's nothing different to the Wicker Man experience. It's still all the same. There's no sort of SMILER takeover in the pre-show or anything like that. I was watching a video the other day by Sean Evans, and he was saying about how much potential they could have done with the Wicker Man. Like in the pre-show, it sort of cut and then show the Ministry of Joy in the pre-show screen. But yeah, they've literally plonked this theming out here, which, don't get me wrong, it could look alright in the SMILER area permanently, but here outside Wicker Man, it just looks a bit crap, I'm going to be honest, just outside here. However, you have got the eye. I'm not too sure what this means. Apparently it's outside every single ride, so I'm going to go to every single roller coaster and see the different letters, see what they make up. But I'm not too sure, to be honest. But yeah, it looks a bit, yeah, I'll just leave that there. If you're a general guest and you see this outside the Wicker Man and this is your only visit of the year, you're going to be like, what is this? I mean, but anyway, the Wicker Man always looks great here at Alton Towers, but it looks even better without this rubbish. Yeah, I literally just recorded that clip then and started to walk away from Wicker Man. However, there was an interruption by the Ministry of Joy and the normal Wicker Man audio changed and sort of buzzed through, and the Ministry of Joy cut in and said that they were taking over the Wicker Man. So I take back what I said earlier. They have sort of changed it. They've changed the audio at least, which is a very easy thing to do, but it's good to see that they've done it. Adds a little bit of SMILER to the Wicker Man. However, I still don't think this fits here, and it just looks a little bit odd in my opinion, next to such a world-class ride, and then they've just bunged this sort of here and just sort of forced it into the ride. I mean, they could have done it subtly and sort of made the Ministry of Joy take over Wicker Man, but in such a subtle way but that guests know it. But instead they've just gone and plonked this here. I hope this is not a recurring theme around the resort. But it's nice to see that they've changed the audio for the SMILER Takeover. But let's head round to Galactica and see what changes they've got on there, for Festival of Thrills. Walking up here and around to Catania Canyon then, there's loads of different stickers. There we go, got some waving in the window. There's loads of these different stickers around the resort as well, and you can count how many they've got and sort of fill it in on this sheet here. And once you've done your day, fill it in there, how many did you count? And here's one of them, so I'll keep counting them as I head round to Curse at the Alton Manor. Well, thank God they haven't plonked any of the SMILER theme in this area of the park, just outside Curse at the Alton Manor, and it still keeps that very creepy atmosphere down in this area of the park. I'm so glad they didn't plonk any SMILER stickers or any SMILER theming in this crypt area here, and it still keeps the same audio, no interruptions for the Ministry of Joy. Oh, I love this ride. It's got such a creepy atmosphere to it as well. No SMILER theming down here. The Ministry of Joy couldn't take over this area because it's already been taken over by Emily Orton. Here we go then, the SMILER has taken over Galactica. There's an L just there, and here's another one of those stamp stations where you can stamp your SMILER card. And there's also another SMILER sticker there just on the support beam for Galactica, and I believe there is some theming in this queue, so let's go and check it out. Here's some theming then for Festival of Thrills, some random bits. Looks like a spaceman. Actually, to be fair, this one does look a lot better than the one over at Wicker Man, because there's actually like a person and something going on there with all the cables. Yeah, that looks alright, to be fair. Way better than the Wicker Man one anyway. Just up here by Rita then, you've got the big R for Rita, and also the stamp station to get that stamped onto your little card. But yeah, you just got this SMILER piece here. I really don't know what to call these theming pieces. It looks like, I don't even know, it looks like something out of a Saw movie. If you paint that black, it can go down to Fort Park for Saw the Ride. Doesn't look particularly bad in this, yeah, I'm trying to think of positives here. It does look really out of place, but it doesn't look as bad as the one over at Wicker Man. I mean, that does look really out of place right in front of the Wicker Man. It ruined such a huge, expensive model, Big Bob, and then you just got like this really cheap theming piece outside Wicker Man. But this one looks alright, it doesn't look too out of place. At least they've put it sort of in a place where it doesn't disrupt like, you know, what you see on, well, not that you can see much of 13, but like not right out of the front entrance of Rita, because that would just look really odd. They sort of put it in the corner here, which looks a lot better. But yeah, it looks alright. At least it's only temporary, but I really hope they put this theming in the SMILER queue line after. I'll be back in a few weeks after Festival of Thrills, and I want to see this all in the SMILER queue. Just outside 13 then, you've got a T for 13. It's actually currently experiencing a technical delay, as with both rides down here in Dark Forest. But if you put all the letters together and made the word, let me know in the comment section down below. What is the word? Because I really don't have a clue. there we go, that is Alton Towers Festival of Thrills SMILER Takeover 2023. Is it Festival of Thrills? No. If you compare it to last year's, it's nothing like Festival of Thrills. This is a SMILER Takeover. The entertainment in X Sector is quite good. Is it the entertainment that Alton Towers sort of needs? Probably not. I mean, the second show was really weird, but you do win 2 fast tracks if you participate, so there you go for the SMILER. The first show was quite good, quite funny. The guy on there was brilliant. The third show was good with the magician and the hula hooper, which I didn't manage to film, unfortunately. It was all right. It was like that, the entertainment. The decorations around the park were quite good, but I just don't think it's the SMILER Takeover. They've got all the soundtracks like butting in on the actual roller coaster itself. Like it will say, this is this Ministry of Joy taking over the Wicker Man, for example. But it didn't really take it over, it was just the audio that it cut into. It said it was going to take over, but it didn't. It didn't go through with what it said. The only ride that went through with what it said was Oblivion, because they took over the audio, they took over the screens as well, and they put some signs in the queue line, which is quite nice. But apart from that, none of the other rides were really taken over. The theming on Wicker Man was abysmal, really. But the theming over in Rita and 13's area, Dark Forest, that wasn't too bad, to be honest. But what I would have liked to seen is potentially Subterra taken over. You could have some nice theming around there, put like a SMILER sticker on, because that building isn't really used at the minute. At the minute, I say. At the minute. Might be used later on, never know. Yeah, that's not really used at the minute, so they could have done something with that building. Overall, would I rush the Festival of Thrills SMILER Takeover? Probably not, to be honest. If you're coming for one time of the year, I'd save it to Scarefest or Oktoberfest. Those are my 2 favourite events here at the park. However, they've done a good job with celebrating 10 years of the SMILER. They could have done nothing. They couldn't have just not mentioned the SMILER birthday like they did with 13. But it's nice to see that they've done something with it. You've got to appreciate that they've gone to the effort of doing a SMILER Takeover, which is always great to see. If you haven't already, go and check out the Nemesis updates here on the channel. There's a whole dedicated playlist to Nemesis. I know you guys like that, and there's been a lot of support on those videos recently, so thank you very much for it. But with all that said, I'll leave you with this view here at Alton Towers Resort. Festival of Thrills, is it brilliant? No. Is it the best event here at Alton Towers? No. Am I glad that Alton Towers went to the extent of celebrating the SMILER's birthday? Definitely. Now here we go. From Alton Towers, I'll see you in the next video. If you did enjoy it, do consider subscribing. Plenty more on the way for you. See you in the next video. Bye now. Bye now.